Are your n8n workflows constantly failing? Every tiny mistake can cause major issues and people even don't realize it. I have built hundreds and plus n8n workflows and I've broken plenty. But once I figured out these 5 mistakes, everything just worked. There is one mistake even pros are making without knowing. Let's walk through each mistake and fix them fast. Today I will cover 5 error handling mistakes that every beginner makes. Okay, let's start right away. Mistake 1. Not using the error trigger node, which is showing the failing workflows, and we can connect it to notify us via email or Discord or Telegram, whatever you want, and you can protect this way. Immediately you can see which workflow is giving the error. You can have the URL link of the workflow straight away from your phone. Even you can go to the URL and, for example, change the thing that is not working and click retry, and you can straight away make the workflow work and everything done. Let's start mistake 1. This is the error trigger node, and how this works is, let's start with new workflow. When you come to new workflow, you have to write here error trigger, and it does say this node will trigger when there is an error or another workflow, as long as the workflow is set up to do so. So how this thing works is, for example, let me go to another workflow. Let's say in this workflow, we gonna have an error. Now, in the moment, this trigger doesn't catch the errors happening in this workflow because we have to come to these 3 dots of the workflow, click settings, and then here, error workflow. You can set for every workflow a different workflow to handle the errors. So here I just have an error handler. Just click error handler and click save. And from now on, when some error occurs in this workflow, it's gonna straight away go to this error handler and this error trigger is gonna trigger. I can make it work with this one just to show you from 0. Let's call this workflow example error. So now let's go to this workflow and change the settings and make it work with our new workflow example error trigger. Okay, save. And now here in the executions, you can see there is nothing. Let's make this workflow to give us our error, and it's gonna straight away send and trigger the other workflow. Let's execute this. Okay, it doesn't give an error. Let's run it without HTTPS. Okay, invalid URL, and now this workflow has to trigger. This workflow has to be active in order to trigger the error workflow. Let's put a schedule trigger, and we're gonna put it to run in every minute or every 30 seconds, even 15 seconds we're gonna put. Let's put the schedule trigger, let's deactivate this, and now when I make it active, every 15 seconds it's gonna try to make this HTTP request, and it has to give error, and it's gonna trigger this error trigger. Let's try it. Save. Let's make it active. Valid URL. Let's clear the execution. Saved. Now it is active now, and we're gonna see after 15 seconds this trigger has to got an error because this workflow is gonna give an error. Okay, 35, and as you can see, we have an error triggered here. Let's stop the other one because it's gonna give a lot of errors here. And copy to editor, and you can see now what we have in the error trigger. We have the method get, we have the URL of the workflow, which execution is it, the ID, a level warning, timestamp. We can see the headers. It uses the get method, URI, what it tries to do, timeout, node API. We can see the stack, node API, invalid URL. We can see the error straight away here. And from here, for example, when we got our error with the trigger, we can just notify ourselves, for example, with Gmail node. Let's send a message to ourselves. Let's send a message to me, let's say. And for subject, we're gonna say error in workflow. We can put the name of the workflow here, how I'm using it, the name of the workflow, so we can know in which workflow is the error. And then here we can straight away drag and drop the URL of the workflow. Let's say URL. We can drop the error. And straight away in your email, you're gonna see the URL of the workflow and the error. So you can know that if you can fix this error in one click from your phone or your laptop, you can click the URL. It's gonna straight away bring it. Let's send the email and show you. Okay, the email is sent. Here is the email. And we can see the error and we can see the execution. And straight away when we click it, it's gonna go to the execution of the workflow and the error. So for example, we have to fix it. Even from your phone, you can click debug in editor. Just come here, HTTPS, just write this, save, and then go back to executions. And here, how to run it. Now with the saved settings, you just have to come here, retry execution, and retry with the currently saved workflow. So when you click this, it's gonna work because we have changed the error. And now it is working straight away. And this way you can handle all type of errors with this simple error trigger. And you can use different error triggers, for example, for different workflows. Let's say this workflow I'm using for Climacast error handling, for example, which service I showed in the last video. Let me show you now. This is Climacast, that's a WhatsApp service. For example, if there is an error in my workflows that cannot send today weather, for example, today weather's API fell down and the fallback has failed as well. And straight away, instead of notifying me only, it's going, if it's the daily message, it's going sending them the error template of just a fallback message. So, oops, our weather elf tripped over, perfect time to relax indoors, and it's straighten them to the master accounts and trial accounts through WhatsApp and send me the error email after the message that the error was handled. And we know if there is any other error, because you can use one error trigger for every other workflow as well. You have to put a switch, and then from workflow names, you just put in, for example, if it contains daily operations, in my case, just route it here. If it does not contain daily message, just route it the other way. And this way you can handle all of your workflow errors with this error trigger. Let's start with the mistake number 2. It's not using the error output branch. This is really important for AI agents and to use fallback methods as well. I think now n8n created this option in the agents. Now we're gonna see, I'm gonna start from scratch. To build one agent to see how we can build this. This means, for example, if some of your nodes fails and it has to create, for example, an image or an output, you can use the error output if this node outputs an error. So we can use another agent or another method or another image generation to generate the image or output and use it in the rest of the workflow without breaking the workflow. Okay, let's go and do that. I'm gonna include this error trigger with the sent message in the description and all of the templates that I'm gonna use today, and this one as well with the mistakes. I'm gonna include it down in the description. You can download it for free. Let's create a new workflow. Now we're gonna create some just simple AI agent with chat or AI agent with the connected chat trigger. Okay, chat model. Let's use, for example, OpenAI, no memory, and that's it. Okay, let's put simple memory and no tools. And now, as you can see, there is one output. For example, let's say hello, and it's gonna output just one item, and we're gonna be able to see it. Now, sometimes we can ask the agent, for example, to give us, let's use enable fallback model. Yeah. So now n8n has made enable function now. And when you put fallback model, for example, if we are putting some complex prompt to the agent, and our OpenAI model falls and it gives an error. Now we can use the fallback model, for example, Google Gemini, to handle the request. And then we can avoid mistakes. Usually Google Gemini is making problems when we are requesting some kind of specific JSON format output. Let's try it now. Maybe we can break it. Okay, output parser. We're gonna put structured output parser, state and city. Let's say now, which are the cities with highest mountains in the world? Now, with the output parser, it's gonna try to output in this format. So let's try. This question answer does not contain this kind of exactly in this format, so maybe it's gonna break. Let's try. Okay. Now this is really good. Model output doesn't fit the required format. Okay. In this case, you can use two ways to fix this. Now the structured output parser has an option, auto-fix format. And now you can use the model. You can straight away connect to the same model. And now when this output fails, it's gonna go and ask the AI, ask OpenAI model to fix the output of this agent, to fix it and make it to fit in this JSON example. Let's try it again to see if it's gonna be able to work. Okay, one error, and now it's trying to fix it, and it fixed it. Now, as you can see, we have an output. So state near the Himalayas, and this. Okay, the next way is we're gonna remove this auto-fix format, and in AI agent, when you come here, we can go to settings, and we can say here on error, continue with using error output. So then it's gonna give us one more output, and this is gonna be our error output that we can use to put some another AI agent, for example. And if this error occurs, let's try. Let's clear the execution. It's gonna be the same model, simple memory. Let's see what kind of error output this is gonna give us. Problem executing the output. Oh, prompt. Okay, let's put this now because we don't know what is gonna be the output of the first agent, just to make the thing work. Okay, now it outputted this successfully, so it knows how to make it. Let's take out the simple memory and try again, because now maybe from the memory it knows how to output it. Oh, now it straight away worked. Let's try with Google's one. Usually Gemini does these problems with outputting the... Okay, yeah, as you can see, it straight away gave us an error, and the error output was this chat input. Which are the cities with the highest mountains in the world? So we can know here in this prompt, we can feed the chat input from the first agent. Let's say chat input. Then we can say error. And this is going to be the error. Model output doesn't fit the required format. So we can know from this agent what kind of error we got, and then we can handle this error however we want. We can tell this agent, for example, here in the system prompt, you are an error handler. If you receive an error, for example, in this type, you have to output this specific thing. So you can follow up in as many ways as you can. You can put, just like in my error handler here, you can put, for example, a fixed message. For example, let's say you are sending an image, and this is an image generator. If it fails to generate the image, we're going to use the error output, and we're going to fixed use from some image that are already downloaded in our Google Drive, for example, we can download it and send it. So you can handle the error without breaking the workflow. And let's try to fix this one now to finish, and we're going to continue with the mistake 3. We know that this agent is trying to output this. Let's put the structured output parser again. Structured output parser is going to be the same parser. And let's say in the system message here, you're a helpful assistant. You are a error handling assistant. Your task is to fix the error from the previous agent. You will know what is the input of the user and the error the agent has, and you will fix it. This is the output format in the previous agent, and we can put the output format here. And let's see now, it's going to use Google Gemini model again, but let's see if it's going to be able to put them in the right way. Let's open the chat. Let's clear the execution first. Clear the execution, everything. Let's take out the memory because it doesn't have to remember any previous errors. And let's try this. Hopefully it's going to give us an error first. Let's see. Please give an error. It succeeded now. Okay, it's output them right. Let's try again. Or let's try with something. Let's try it with something else. What cars are made in the biggest cities in the world? It's completely different. Okay, straight away an error, and this one now succeeded. As you can see, it is converted this question and error, so the chat input and error, and it converts it in a way to fulfill this template of JSON, and it made it work. So then you can connect it back to your main workflow, and this way you can avoid any errors. You can connect here on the error output method, for example, and notification, just a notification, just to notify you that error has occurred. And that's it. Now let's go to the third mistake, breaking JSON with bad formatting. This error, I am getting this error too many times when I'm trying to send, for example, an HTTP request or to put a message in Telegram. And it's always when the agent outputs anything, it breaks the JSON format, and that's why it's not sending it. So the main things that are breaking the JSON are, let me show you now in the workflow again. Let's create image generation with Together AI again, but the AI agent is going to generate the prompt. Let's make this one. AI agent. Okay, this is our AI agent. Chat model again, just use any. Okay, this AI agent, now we're gonna tell it that it is a helpful assistant that writes detailed image generation prompts from the user input. Okay, this is it. We're gonna input our request, it's gonna generate a detailed prompt, and we're gonna use it to send to, let's say, Together AI that we used last time. Okay, let's go to use HTTP request. Now let's put post, come to Together AI, sign into Together AI, and let's hit playgrounds image and get the flux model again. Here on the right side we have to click view all models, and in the bottom you can you can see it. Okay, free, and let's click API view curl, copy, import curl, paste it. Then as I showed in the last video and the video with APIs, I'm gonna use my header authentication because I've got it already, so Together AI. And now this is gonna be our prompt. If we put here prompt with new lines, it has to break. let's try once. And we're gonna say to this agent, I want to generate a AI agent which is extending its arms by itself. Write the prompt in new lines and use quote marks. Let's try. Now I'm trying to break it because usually, yeah, okay. Bat request, check your parameters. This is the thing, prompt required. No, oh, okay. And now I have to put the prompt here. And let's try if it's gonna run. Okay, this one is gonna run, I think. Okay, this one worked, but this one worked as we are using the fields below. Now I'm gonna try to use the JSON format because just yesterday I got this problem. And I'm gonna try to show you what kind of errors it's given, because it's these new lines and these quote marks are breaking the JSON. Now we're gonna try. Let's see the image first if it's right. Okay, yeah, the image. We got the image. Let's try now using JSON. We're gonna come here, just copy the JSON from here and put it here. And now in the prompt, we're gonna put the output there. Now, as you can see, we have new lines with quotation marks and everything. Let's try to generate again. It has to give an error, yeah. Now, JSON parameters need to be valid JSON. This error, I got this error a lot of times when using Telegram or when using HTTP requests. Yesterday, I was trying to send a request to VAPI to make a call with a voice agent, and it was the same thing because I had to put the name or the text in the JSON, and it was making the same thing, same error. So then how I fixed it, it was really simple, but you just have to put in your system message, do not use quotation marks and do not use new lines. Write the text in one line in order to not break the JSON after this node. And if we leave it like this, let's ask now to make the same thing. Let's see how it's gonna write it, because we're gonna say use quote marks and expanding its arms. Let's see how it's gonna input it. Okay, it avoided them, and now as you can see, the JSON is not breaking and it's gonna generate it. So I saw in a lot of API uses that you can call some API, some different tools. You can send messages, sometimes even in Gmail, for example, our AI agent did not generate a text in one line, or used new lines, or used something that is gonna break the JSON. This is the example error that you can get, and this is the way to fix it. If it's on one line and you're not using quotation marks, it's going really well. Or as we saw now, and this was really good because I didn't know it until now, that if we use the fields below, so now we're gonna go and I'm gonna show it, and we're gonna try to run it again with the quotation marks to see. Just let this HTTP node finish. Just let's stop it, and okay. And now we're gonna go and try to put using the fields below. So when we see a JSON like this, so the JSON is the things that are between these curly brackets. In future videos, when I start advanced videos for n8n, I'm gonna cover in depth the JSON formatting and everything. But now, just for this, the JSON is this text between the curly brackets. So we have curly brackets, and we have two properties in model. This is the model, and prompt, and this is the prompt. It's empty now. So when we go here, for example, instead of using JSON, we can see we have to put model, and we have to use this model. So let's copy this. Use the fields below, and now name of the property model, and the value was this. So this is one of the parameters. The next parameter is prompt. Let's put add parameter prompt, and here on the prompt we can use the prompt from the agent, but let's output. Let's put the output here, and we're gonna remove the rules here from the agent. Let's remove these, do not use. Okay, and let's give the same prompt to the agent, and let's see what it's gonna generate then. Okay, now the agent has to generate with quotation marks and new lines. Okay, as you can see, it is on new lines and quotation marks, but our image generation model has worked, and our image is here. Yeah. So if there is a break in JSON and you are using the output from your AI agent, either one of the way to fix it, go to the AI agent system prompt and write explicitly to not use quotation marks and new lines if you are using a JSON format here. Or the next thing is copy the JSON, get it from the site just to make to be able to see it, and then come and click here, use the fields below, and for every parameter of the JSON, just fill the parameters here, and when you drag and drop it, it's not breaking. This is the thing with mistake 3. Let's continue with mistake 4. No retries or timeouts. So, for example, in the video that I'm showing in Google Maps scraping, if we are not using, let me show the workflow. This is the workflow that we are using to start the scraper. And if we are not using this wait node and to wait 1 minute between the executions of the workflows, let me show the other workflow as well. If we are not using this wait node here, this search Google Maps with query is gonna fail, because if we put a lot of executions on this one, straight away it's gonna give us an error that too many requests are being sent from this IP, and it's gonna stop for a while. For example, for 1 hour it's gonna be paused. This is why when you know that you can hit some API rate limits, for example, if you're inputting data in Google Sheets, you have to see the Google Sheets documentation and see the API rate limits, or if you are generating images, all kind of APIs that you are hitting, you have to know their limitations. For example, even in ngrok that we are using for making our n8n public. Now I'm using Cloudflare, but I used to use ngrok. I'm still using it sometimes. In ngrok, there is a HTTP request limit. It was 25,000 per month, I think. And when I hit it, it stops. With everything that you are using for free, for example, there is an API rate limit, even in the paid ones. So you have to be careful to not hit the API rate limits. And you have to set wait nodes there. And you can use timeouts as well. For example, some API request, HTTP request to some tool, and it's gonna, you know that it's taking really long. You can hit here and you can use the timeout just to put the timeout here. If you know that it's gonna use a lot of time, you can increase the timeout. If you know that if it doesn't answer, for example, in, let's say, 1 minute, so it's gonna be an error, so you can put the timeout here to timeout after 1 minute and 10 seconds, so there's no point to run the workflow and to get the error in the end. Also, here redirects, if you are using scrapers or hitting different URLs here, and some websites, for example, if you try to HTTP request some websites, they have some redirections. For in the beginning they have some pop-up, and then you have to redirect to get into the website. So you have to come to in the HTTP request, you have to come down in the options, add option, and you have to click redirects and follow redirects. This you have to keep it either 21, 30, whatever number you have to put, and then when you execute it, as many redirects as the website is gonna do, this HTTP request is gonna follow them until the end that it's gonna stop, and it's gonna return our the HTML of the website to us. Also, one more thing. If this AI agent fails, for example, you can hit retry on fail. When your agent or when your HTTP requests anything fail, you can see if active, the node retries to execute again when it fails. So if you know that sometimes some node is giving some mistakes or not sending the notification, straight away you can use in the settings retry on fail and max retries, and how long it has to wait between the tries. You can put this max tries, and that's it, and you live in it, and you know that, for example, this node, if it's given the error, it's gonna retry once, retry 3 times, and between these retries it's gonna wait for 1 minute, let's say, and if it gives error after that, you can handle this error with the error handler, and this way use the error trigger. Let me show. If this way you are using the error trigger node to handle the errors, if you are using error output branch to get the output, to get the error output from your agent or from your nodes, and to handle them like this, if you setting up in the system prompt in your agents to not break the JSON by removing quotes and new lines, or using the HTTP request that with the using the fields below in the JSON body, and if you set the timeouts and retries, you're gonna make your workflow unkillable. Your workflow is gonna be the ultimate workflow. You're not gonna have any problems with this. And the last one is only testing whole workflows. We have to test every part of our workflow. For example, when we are using some complex workflow, let me find one and show. Okay, we have an image and video generation and poster here. So if we are using this kind of complex workflows, if we are executing it and it's running fully, it's good, but we have to test it part by part to know which part can fail. For example, this is really important while building the workflow. You have to, let's say, put the edit fields, execute the workflow, see the edit fields is working, then put the next node, execute to see what is going to get, for example, from edit fields to get rows, then go to edit fields, see what can go wrong here. For example, if something can go wrong, put error output, put error trigger handler, put retry. You have to build it node by node until the end. Then in the end, when you execute and it's working, it's good, but it's gonna, you have to be able to build them in sections, in parts, these workflows. For example, go and build, for example, one agent that is gonna generate an image from our prompt. It's gonna generate a post, and it's gonna send it to our email that we can copy and post it to somewhere. Let's build this. Okay, let's put here AI agent again. Let's use Gemini model. Let's use memory, and first we are putting this, and we have to, when we're building the workflow, we have to know what we are gonna input to the workflow and what we want to output from the workflow. So in the end, we're gonna have to send an email, yeah? So we go in and send in an email, send a message. And then what this message is gonna contain, let's say it's gonna contain email, let's say our email. Subject is gonna be generated image, let's say, or generated post. Email type is gonna be text. In the text message, we're gonna include, let's say, URL of the image and post captions. Okay, we can do this. And now we are trying to do this straight away. We are executing first the first node. Let's execute first node. Let's say this helpful assistant to generate an image generation prompt detailed for GPT GPT-1 model. Okay, let's build this agent to give us a post caption and image generation prompt. So, assistant to generate an image generation prompt detailed for GPT-1 model and an Instagram captions for the image. Okay, output parser in order to get this is gonna be prompt. So we are telling in this parser what we want to be outputted from this agent. And second one is gonna be captions, and we have to delete everything inside here. We put the quotes, and between the quotes, captions. And that's it. We want two parameters, prompt and captions. Okay, you can just copy this and tell the agent output format is this, and put this. That's it. Okay, save. And now we can input the agent. What kind of post we have to generate? Okay, I want to generate a motivational post for business owners. Okay, and now we are straight away trying the first part of our workflow. We got it ready. We can see prompt, we can see the captions, everything is good. Okay, this is working. Now, straight away, we know what we want to output here. So we have to get the URL and post caption. We already have the post caption here. Okay, what we have to put between the send message and AI agent? An image generation. Okay, so put OpenAI. Generate an image, just DALL-E 3, and here we're gonna respond with image URLs, we're gonna say, to get the URL. And here is the prompt. And now instead of running again the whole workflow, we just click here, pin the agent message, because we know that we're gonna use this. Why we have to spend more tokens here? And we click execute step, so it's gonna execute only this step. When these previous nodes are pinned, their data that they have generated is gonna be pinned, and we just generate this. And this way we can know every node until the end of the workflow. How does it work? Now we have the URL of the image and revised prompt. Okay, now we pin this, and now we have already got our parameters that we need. In the send message, we have URL, click expression. In the URL, we drag and drop URL. In the captions, we go to the AI agent and drop the captions here. And that's it. We're gonna have this URL and this post captions for our Instagram. And now, instead of running again the whole workflow to generate a new image, agent and everything, just click execute step. And we know that it's working. Let's go to the email. Now I send it to wrong email. In the beginning it was muro-trade-din. Now I put the G. And now, as you can see, we sent some wrong email. We don't have to put and generate the image and everything again. Just keep the pins, fix the error, and click execute step. Just execute this node. And now let's check the email. And we have our email generated post. We have the URL, we can see the picture, and we have our post caption that we can copy and straight away post. And this is an example how you can build and avoid errors with executing just one step at a time. And then, for example, we can pin this as well, put it here. From here we can add another node that to post to Instagram and Facebook, and that's it. We have covered all of the 5 mistakes of beginners that they are doing: not using the error trigger, not using the error output branch, breaking the JSON with bad formatting, no retries and timeouts, and mistake 5, only testing the whole workflows. And instead of running the whole workflow, you have to execute the node and step. And this is gonna be it for this video. If I'm gonna include this template and all of the other templates, I'm gonna save them and include them down in the video, so you can go and try yourself, see the mistakes, see the errors and how they are fixed. You can download them for free. Please make sure like and subscribe. Subscribe to my email list down using the link below, and see you in the next one with the new projects soon coming. I'm gonna need your input. Thank you very much. See you in the next one. Thank you.